Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jared and in this video I will explain about API-driven web applications. But before that, what are web applications? Web applications are apps that runs in our browser. We don't need to install them in our computer. We access them by going to a URL. One example of a web app is Google Sheets. We use it in our browser and does not install it like Microsoft Excel. Now that you are clear about web application, let's understand what APIs are. API stands for Application Programming Interface. It's a technology used to communicate between applications or systems. When we say communication, it means transfer of data. In APIs, data is transferred in JSON format. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. It is basically data represented in this format, key and value pairs within curly braces. Now that you are clear about APIs, let's understand where API is used in web applications. It is primarily used in the communication between the frontend and the backend. The front end is what you see in the browser. It consists of all the beautiful web pages, styles, and animations. The technology used are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. HTML for page structure, CSS for styling, and JavaScript to make the page more interactive. Lately, there have been an increase in the adoption of frameworks, which basically is like a toolkit that makes management of the front-end part more easy and robust. Examples of front-end frameworks include React, Vue, and Angular. The backend is the section you don't see. It takes requests from the front-end and gives the required data in JSON format. Here also, there are popular frameworks such as Node, Django REST, Fast API, etc. Additionally, there is a database where the data is stored. Database can be SQL based such as MySQL, PostgreSQL, MS SQL, etc. It can also be NoSQL based such as MongoDB, Cassandra, etc. Finally, an API driven application will look something like this. There's the front-end framework which takes care of the user interface. Then there is the backend API framework which takes requests from the front-end, processes the request, fetch data from the database, and gives the data to the front-end in JSON format. This is different from the MVC architecture, which is actually integrated. There is no separate front-end and back-end framework. It is just one framework handling everything. I will now show you a stripped-down version of this concept. This is an application that shows a racing bar chart. These charts are very popular in YouTube nowadays, and I thought this would be an interesting way to explain the concept of API-driven web application. So here we have the front end, consisting of the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. All this combined gives you a nice dynamic chart of GDP of countries since 1990. As you can see, the United States is leading by a huge margin for a long period of time. But where is this data coming from? That is from the backend. I have an Excel sheet called GDP data, which contains this data. So here is the countries, and here you have the GDP of the countries from 1990 to 2018. In a real application, this would be a database. Then I have a Python script that fetches the data from the Excel sheet and creates an API endpoint, basically a URL, which when requested returns you this nice JSON data. So if I go to this URL, I will get this JSON data. So the front end will go to this URL, fetch the GDP data in JSON format and use it in our chart. And that's how you get this nice chart. That's basically how API-driven web application works. The front end and the back end are decoupled and both communicate with each other using the APIs. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and share if you found it useful. Also subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you.